好，大家好啊，歡迎收睇攝錄啊，又係我 Andy 啊。咁啊，我哋今日啦，咁啊做咩咧？嗱，大家都知道啦，咁我係一個富士嘅用家啦。咁啊，如果數到富士最中意嘅一支鏡頭咧，就會係佢35-1.4。咁但係啱啱啦，富士都推出咗一支最新嘅一支鏡頭咧，就係33-1.4喎。咁呢支鏡頭咧，究竟佢係一支叫做升級咗啊，定係第二代啊，定係另外一支鏡頭咧？咁我哋一陣就可以評測下啦。咁啊喺開始之前啊，咁啊介紹下我今日嘅 model 先，咁啊俾佢自我介紹一下。
Hello， 我叫阿婷啊，而家係學生，讀緊 Fashion Design，平時中意影相，如果有想影相嘅就揾我啦。
係啦，想影相就揾佢啦，好唔好？咁我哋就事不宜遲啦，我哋 Let's go。
I used to be afraid to fall in love. My past relationship was a disaster, but now I don't care. 'Cause you took my scars.
咁我哋首先咧又係外觀協會時間，講一講支鏡嘅外觀先啦。咁啊兩支鏡都喺我哋 model 手上啦。咁啊呢支就係新嘅33-1.4啦。外觀方面咧，首先就係第一樣嘢就係大支啲啦。咁啊好多人咧第一時間咧都會覺得咧佢外形唔夠復古嘅，冇35-1.4咁復古。但係其實到我真正攞上手，我發覺佢只係一支35-1.4嘅放大版嚟嘅啫。所以其實係唔存在話佢個樣唔夠復古，係大支咗啦。咁另外一樣嘢啦，一樣啦，佢都係金屬嘅鏡身啦。咁但係遮光罩咧，嗱舊嗰支咧，佢會包括埋呢個金屬遮光罩。新呢支咧，佢只係包你一個咧圓形膠嘅遮光罩啫。如果你想買個金屬遮光罩咧，你要另外購買嘅。咁另外啦，仲有啦，新嘅鏡頭啦，咁佢係有呢個防塵防水滴設計嘅，而舊嘅呢支咧係冇嘅。咁大家咧所以可以留意翻啦。咁另外啦，咁亦都係啦，新嘅鏡頭咧係有視性摩打啦，咁對焦應該係會快啲，一陣間我哋會做一個測試啦。咁舊嗰支咧就係冇嘅，所以咧舊嗰支亦都會咧，佢係一個採用一個外對焦啦，佢會咧對焦嘅時候會伸縮。咁你話外觀上啊各方面嘢咧就會係大致上係咁樣。咁我哋一陣間咧就測試下咧佢喺性能方面咧係有啲咩分別啦。咁新嘅鏡頭咧就會多咗個安全鎖啦，咁啊扭去 A mode 嘅時候啦，咁佢就會 lock 實咗嘅，咁啊你要撳翻個掣咧，你先可以轉其他嘅光圈設定啦。咁鏡尾啦一樣啦，係呢個金屬嘅接環啦，咁亦都會咧有防水膠邊啦，因為今次嘅鏡頭咧加一個好重要，我覺得咧就係呢個防塵防水滴啦。咁啊例如啲毛毛雨啊或者潮濕環境咧都可以用到啦。
Was insecure, caught up in the pain, but you showed me how to heal.
好啦，咁啊鏡頭分別重量啦，舊嘅咧就係187 gram 啦，而新呢支咧係360 gram 嘅，而 filter size 咧舊嘅係52 mm， 新嘅咧係58 mm， 咁冇辦法啦，咁啊 filter 方面咧就唔可以共用啦。
Show me how to heal, and now I don't feel broken anymore.
咁啊，好多人都知啦，我好中意影啲逆光啊、啲霍光有飛牙嘅相噶嘛。咁咧最大分別新鏡同舊鏡就係咧。舊鏡喺呢啲情況咧，佢就只可以有呢個人面追焦啫，就做唔到眼球追焦。但係新呢支鏡咧，佢就可以做得到，即係代表喺逆光之下咧，咁佢嗰個對焦嘅效果咧，好明顯咧就有分別啦。咁啊，呢個咧就係新鏡啦嘅人眼追焦效果啦。就算喺逆光啊咁強嘅逆光底下咧，佢都可以做到咧人眼嘅追焦嘅。咁而喺舊鏡啦，咁喺逆光底下啦，佢會咧好明顯睇到咧，佢係會爭少少。有時佢會係人面對焦啦，有時咧佢會做翻眼球追焦啦。咁佢就冇新鏡咧係追得咧係咁貼啦。
Went from so lonely to falling asleep in your arms. I used to be afraid to fall in love. My past relationship was a disaster, but now I don't care. Cause you
舊鏡咧係因為外對焦嘅關係啊，所以咧你會見到佢咧對焦嘅時候咧會伸縮，同埋咧聲音都幾大。而新鏡啦，佢係採用呢個甩線性摩打啦，咁你可以睇到啦，咁佢就唔會有前後伸縮對焦嘅效果啦，同埋咧聲音咧基本上可以話係冇嘅，非常之靜。咁我都影咗一啲嘅相啦，去分別咧用33同埋35啦做一個比較啦。大家可以睇下咧佢嘅散景啦，同埋佢嘅鋭利度咧嘅分別咧有咩效果，有咩唔同喎。
wanna wash it away. I know sometimes I get too caught up in all of the wrong things, but you're always there to guide me. I used to be afraid to fall in love. A past relationship was a disaster, but now I don't care. Cause you took my scars, bruises and broken heart, and numbed all the pain. Show me how to heal, and now I don't feel broken anymore. I used to be afraid until I met you. I was insecure.
咁啊最近對焦距離咧就係咧30厘米啦，好似我而家咧咁近嘅距離度咧就已經係最近嘅對焦距離啦。咁而佢嘅倍數咧就係0.15倍啦。咁相對舊嗰支咧，咁其實咧佢係遠咗啲啲嘅。舊嗰支咧因為係0.28米啊，即係28 cm 啦，咁啊係0.17倍嘅。
Broken heart, numbed all the pain. Show me how to heal, and now I don't feel broken anymore.
好啦，咁我哋而家咧就試下呢個 AFC 啦，人眼追焦啦，咁啊新嘅鏡頭嘅效果會係點啦？咁啊 model 可以向前行啊，係啦，轉個圈，哇咬得好實啊！大家都睇到啦嚇，左右喐下，係啦，好啦，向後行，係啦，去到好遠咧都仲追到嘅。咁呢個咧就係33.1.4 AFC 人眼追焦嘅效果啦。好啦，我哋而家咧就試一試咧係單點對焦咧嗰個速度嘅效果會係點咯。咁我哋咧就對 model 啦，就對後邊無限遠啦，對翻 model，我哋再試下做 model， 後邊 model， 速度都相當之快啦，同埋咧係非常之靜嘅。咁再落嚟咧，我哋就比較下咧舊款嘅31.4咧個眼球追焦個效果會係點啦。咁啊 model 又係向前行啦，係啦。咁啊向後行，係啦，哇轉圈，左右喐下，係啦。咁你見到咧，咁佢會有少少咧會浮下啦，或者咧係會有少少甩甩地嘅。咁咧同埋對焦嘅時候啦，都會有啲聲啦，前後喐動咁樣啦。咁呢個就係31.4咧 AFC 人眼追焦嘅效果啦。再落嚟咧，我哋就試咧單點對焦啦。咁我哋咧就 focus 喺 model 啦，再 focus 喺後邊。咁其實咧，而家新嘅舊嘅31.4啦，用咗係新嘅 XT4，其實對焦都比以前快咗，但係好明顯咧，佢係對比起33.4咧，佢係會有少少嘅，我覺得好似猶豫咁樣嘅咯，佢會窒一窒嘅。但係其實咧，都唔係話真係好差，但係冇比較有傷害，唔係冇比較冇傷害，因為比較就有傷害。
Still got your smell wrapped in my bed sheets. Don't wanna wash it away. I know sometimes I get too caught up in all of the wrong things, always there to guide me.
價錢方面咧，新鏡咧就6000幾啦，舊鏡其實定價係4000幾，咁相對咧其實兩支鏡嘅價錢咧係會有唔同嘅，咁所以因應你嘅需要啦，我覺得你自己去揀係邊支啦。但係咧，其實舊鏡嗰陣時咧，由佢本身咧喺街買嘅價錢咧係低啲嘅，慢慢又升翻價。咁其實而家個相差個距離咧係會少咗咯，以前會大啲咯。咁你問我嘅話咧，都係睇翻需要啦。咁其實我覺得就冇重疊嘅。咁但係你話6000幾買一支定焦，我覺得都可以接受咯，係冇問題。咁外形方面咧，你問我中意，我始終中意舊鏡，因為細支嘛。咁你 APS-C 都係希望輕便。咁但係換取一個較高質素嘅同埋對焦速度快啲咧，咁新鏡亦都佢嘅優勢。但係有樣嘢咧，我就覺得係爭少少就係咧，舊鏡咧就明係包埋個金屬遮光罩噶嘛，點解新鏡唔包咧？要包個膠嘅圓形遮光罩咧？咁呢樣嘢我覺得爭少少咯。點解唔送埋啊？送埋啊嘛，係咪？咁所以我覺得佢嘅分別就會喺呢度咯。咁同埋真係新鏡就會重少少啦。咁啊相對性，但係專業性就會好啲咁樣咯。咁今日咧就試用咗兩支鏡啦。咁其實咧本身咧31.4已經係我富士嘅鏡群裏邊 APS-C 嚟講咧，我係自己係最中意嘅一支鏡。咁點解咧？因為佢係等效焦距係50啊嘛，咁啊基本上咧係最常用噶啦。咁而且咧佢嘅散景係唔錯。咁當佢出呢個33.1.4嘅時候，我係覺得咧我係非常之注意嘅，因為肯定我知道咧佢嘅對焦咧係會快好多。咁好多人都會覺得其實有啲人都會講咧佢係1代2代啦。但係如果喺我嚟講咧，我覺得可以係直情係分開兩支鏡。嗱，首先咧焦段咧一個係35，一個33，雖然爭少少，但係其實影出嚟嘅習慣上都會咧係有唔同啦。咁而新嗰支鏡咧，第一樣嘢咧，佢有防塵防水滴啦，同埋佢對焦會快好多，因為佢係內對焦啦。咁佢有線性摩打啦。咁啊喺無論你係人眼追焦啊各方面咧，佢嘅速度真係快好多，而且咧佢係 sharpness 係勁好多嘅。咁相對呢支鏡咧，我覺得佢就會係有少少老鏡味道啦，佢散景咧係會唔同嘅。咁所以你問我嘅話咧，如果你話做嘢嘅話咧，我會選擇咧係用新鏡嘅，因為對焦係會快好多啦。而舊鏡咧，我平時用咧我自己都好中意。咁啊，所以就冇話代唔代替品或者係1、2代，咁啊睇翻你工作需要。如果你問我做嘢，我就一定係會揀呢支33.1.4啊。好啦，咁啊今日嘅評測咧就到此為止啦。咁如果中意我哋條片嘅咧，記得要 like、share 同埋 subscribe 我哋嘅頻道啦。咁啊記得撳埋鐘仔，就會第一時間收到嘅影片通知㗎啦。咁啊如果想了解 model 多啲嘅話咧，可以留意佢嘅 IG 啦。咁啊同埋亦都可以啦，係 like 我哋嘅個人 IG 啦，包括啦我哋攝影師啦 Perry 啦，或者係我啦，或者係我哋字幕君啊 Darwin 嘅 IG 咧，你都可以 like 下啦，都會有個人嘅作品嘅喎。咁我哋咧下條片再見啦，拜拜。
Show me how to